What's going on, everybody? A week away from Thanksgiving. Today's video, I'm gonna hop on and talk about my nighttime routine, which then leads to a good morning routine, and how my nights set up the next day. I know a lot of people have been asking about how they can get up earlier in the morning. They just don't have the energy, they feel tired. There's a few things that it can impact that. One of those being food, which I'm about to have lunch right now. I'm not the greatest at this, but I've been doing a lot better with, having my meal at like 7 p.m. and I like to get in bed by 9:30. So not stuffing my face right before I roll into bed and get ready for bedtime. That helps me a lot because I am able to just focus on sleeping and recovery during the time that I'm in bed. Whereas if you have a lot of food, your body has to use energy to break down the food instead of focusing on recovery and sleeping and repair. So that's one of the few things that I really have done a lot better with lately, is making sure I can have my last meal at around 7, which is like an hour and a half to 2 hours before bed. Will I sneak in a snack here or there, like a sweet? I like chocolate, I like ice cream, I like cookies. Yeah, occasionally. I'm human. But that's one thing I focus on. The second thing I focus on is kind of builds off of that first thing, is limiting the sugar. The sugar is huge because if I have sugar before bed, my heart is racing. Number one, my heartbeat is definitely faster. Number two, it gives me that glucose kick. So I'm in bed and I'm like tossing and turning, and I can never really fall asleep as fast as I would like to. So that's the second thing. I guess that kind of goes with the first thing. Number two is I don't like to work out at night. So I do my best to not train in the evening because my energy goes up after I train. So I really focus on getting my training in early in the day. That would be the next important step for those of you that are trying to get up earlier in the morning, right? Your nighttime routine is vital to getting up early. And then another thing that I like to limit, which I'm really working on this, but is cutting off the screen like 20 to 30 minutes before I lay down and like close my eyes, as opposed to like scrolling, put my phone down and then go right to sleep. Just trying to cut the screen off a little bit earlier. Phone, laptop, TV. I know some people fall asleep with the TV on, which is crazy to me, but studies have shown that the screen time can affect your melatonin release. Melatonin is what helps us get into deep REM. So I do my best to limit the screen time before bed. Just spend 20 minutes laying down. Those of you that have a spouse, like, talk to each other before bedtime, right? Don't just scroll and then put the phone down and not look at your spouse, right? Remember, each day is a gift, so closing off with a little bit of connection, that's very helpful for me with my wife, especially now because she's pregnant. So my last thing is not close out an application on my phone. It's like, all right, turn over, say goodnight to my wife, and yeah. The other thing, which I actually didn't realize this until recently, but the caffeine. Like, I love espresso. I have espresso in the morning. I'm probably gonna have another one right now before I head to my client, but limiting the caffeine. Like, the caffeine lasts about 4 or 5 hours in your system. So if you stop it at around, say you had a cup of coffee at like 4 in the afternoon, that's still in your system till about 9. So when it comes time for me or you to lay down, and you still get a little bit of those effects of caffeine. So I'm limiting that. I'm stopping that early in the day. Like my next cup, it'll probably be my last one today. I'll do my best. All of those things right there prepare me to get a good night's rest. While I'm sleeping, every night I have like this fuzzy blanket I put over my eyes to just block out any light. Sometimes like the building lights can shine through our bedroom, so like I need to sleep in complete darkness. Again, that's another thing that can affect your melatonin release. Melatonin is like our number one thing when it comes to sleep. A couple things that prevent that from happening, prevent the release from happening, or can alter that release, are screen time and lights. Those are just a couple things. But so while I'm sleeping, I have the fuzzy blanket over my eyes, and I have a nice body pillow. I don't want to get into too much detail, but that helps me while I'm sleeping. So that's like my nighttime routine. Now, one other thing to add to transition, good segue for the morning time routine, is I put my phone on the opposite side of the room on my desk. So I set my alarm. My alarm is set for 4 a.m. And it's at my desk on the other side of the bedroom. So alarm goes off, I have to get up, walk to the other side of the room, and turn my alarm off. So at that point, I'm standing up, I already took a few steps, my body's in motion, my blood is flowing. I'm in a different headspace because my body is vertical, I'm upright. Whereas if I go reach for my alarm and I'm horizontal, laying down, I'm in a different headspace. So we think differently when we're moving. So for those of you that have trouble getting up on that first alarm, or just getting up when it's dark, make sure you have to get up and actually move to go turn that alarm off. It's a great tool that I use. The second thing I do first thing in the morning is that I then walk into the bathroom and hop in the shower. So water wakes me up. I already took a few steps to get to the bathroom. The lights on. I'm showering. When I'm in the shower, I'm moving. Blood's flowing. And by then, a couple minutes in the shower, I'm up for the day. I don't want to go back into bed because, I'm starting my day. So then I head downstairs. I usually feed my cats right away. And then there's a few things that I do before I ever check my phone, before I ever, go on to any screen, right? I like time in solitude, and I like time in silence, where I feel like we're most creative when we have no stimulus around us, right? There's nothing that we can watch or something that we can respond to or react to. So that time, those, sometimes I give myself 30 minutes, sometimes I give myself an hour. If I have an early client in the morning, sometimes I have about 30, 45 minutes. And then I have a little bit of coffee. So I give myself caffeine pretty early. That caffeine gets me going. I already showered, started moving. And then I take out like my planner and my notepad, and I have a book always set up. I'll actually show you the book right now. It's in the living room. Show you really quick. I'm reading this book, Cameron Haynes' book, called Endure, and it's just about his journey, his life journey. So this is my book little area. I always leave it there. So I get up in the morning and I come take a seat on my couch. I have my book there. It's quiet. There's no noise, right? Nobody's making noise around me. Not for nothing, but I don't have to, reply to anybody or, go jump to do something for somebody. That time is very important. I get a lot of ideas during that time. I can clear my head and set my intention for the day. So I'll write down my goals, and I'm doing this every day. Like, I'm doing this every single day in the morning. I write down my goals. There's a few things that I want to get done for that day, so I put that down on my planner, spend some time reading, and then by then, after an hour, I'll then check my phone. So the last piece to the morning routine, which has helped me get to where I am today, essentially, I started to change my life when I started to do these things, right? When I stopped sleeping in and I stopped hanging out past 11 p.m. and nothing good happens, they say, after midnight. I think nothing good happens after 10 p.m. So when our daughter gets to that age, I'm gonna let her know, you have to be home by 10 p.m. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, that's the time. The last piece, as I was saying, with my morning routine is I get movement in. So I'll usually have a client 3 days a week at 5:30 in the morning. So that's like the first movement of my day. And I'll spend time warming up with my client. Obviously, I show them the exercise, so that's a good part of movement. But then I'll give myself an hour, sometimes later that morning or early afternoon. But the mornings where I have no client, I get my training session in, so I can get my movement in. And then after the movement is taken care of, my body's going, I have loads of energy for the day. I've got confidence. I've also practiced discipline, right? I didn't sleep in. I got up and I went to the gym. If I can do that, then that's gonna carry on to the next 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I have to do throughout the day. So that pretty much sums up my nighttime / morning routine. I hope you found this helpful, but this has absolutely changed my life. Just being home early, like just 9 o'clock, 9:30, like I'm home. I'm ready to go and prepare for the next day. Because 4 a.m. I get up, right? I'm ahead of the rest of the world. I'm ahead of the rest of the world by 2, 3, sometimes 4, even 5 hours. Some people get up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I had a 5-hour head start on that person. If that person is chasing what I'm chasing, I'm gonna get there first. All right, so start to implement this nighttime / morning time routine. And I'd love to hear some feedback. So if you wanna drop a comment in the section below, you can subscribe to this channel and share the video to somebody that you know that's going through the same thing. They wanna figure out how they can get up earlier. Start to implement these things. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next video.